I started a series of sermons a couple of weeks ago on how to live in 2019. How to live. Very practical stuff on how we can live our lives in 2019. Not New Year's resolutions, but just simple ways of living as a Christian in 2019. Last week, I preached out of the book of Ecclesiastes. We're taking the book of Ecclesiastes and we're using each chapter and we're going through it and talking about what the wisest man in the world wrote. Can you imagine that? Wouldn't that book be on the bestseller list if somebody wrote a book and said this is written by the wisest man who ever lived? Well, we do have that book, and it's the book of Ecclesiastes. And last week we talked on trust by resting. Remember that? Talked about rest and resting. God gave us a day of rest. And even today in the Western civilization that we live in today, we've been given actually 2 days of rest. The Sabbath day was Saturday, and so they worked 6 days a week and rested on the seventh, on the Sabbath day. We, for the most part, unless you're a rancher and farmer, we've been given Saturdays off and Sundays off. And so we still have a Sabbath and the Lord's Day. Sabbath just means to cease or desist. Just means to rest. God gave us a blueprint on resting. And can I say, hey, can I tell you something, farmer? Got any farmers in here? Got any ranchers in here? Let me say something to you guys. I've never said this before, but I'm going to say it today. Can I tell you what I believe? I believe that God will bless you and bless your crop as much or more if you observe the Lord's Day and take that day off than if you would to work that day. I really believe that. I believe that our God is big enough to take care of your ranch and to take care of your farm if you take a day off and allow God to revitalize you and give you rest on that seventh day. Don't you think God's plans are always the best?
Yeah.
And God has a plan. He said, you work your hardest for 6 days and then take a day off. Take a day off. Can I say something? Your cows will be fine. Your cows will be fine. Now, you might have to feed them. I understand that. I get it. But your crops will be fine. I don't know how many times I've had farmers say to me, we made the decision a long time ago to take the Lord's Day off. And God has always blessed us. Always blessed us. Now that is not, I am not putting in a big plug for coming to church, because I'll tell you why. We got a full house today. I'm not scolding anybody at all, not whatsoever. But I am saying this. God gave us a blueprint on how to live. And He said, trust me by resting. Trust me by resting. That's not my sermon today. Today's sermon is cherish now. Look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We're in chapter 3 today. Cherish now. Cherish now. How many of you are sitting there thinking, I wonder when all those little kids are going to come walking through this service. They have ruined. Oh, here we go. Here they come. Here they come. Walking through. All right, looky here. They're looking at us and we're looking at them. This doesn't bother us at all. Don't worry. It doesn't bother us at all. But I do want to talk about cherish now. And look at the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. The wisest man who ever walked the face of this earth besides Jesus Christ Himself said these words. in Ecclesiastes 3. To everything there is a, what's the word? Season. To everything there is a, what's the word? A season. A time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And how many of you are thinking in your head, turn, turn, turn? Huh? Be honest with me. Even the Beatles got this right. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to gain and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love, a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath the worker from that which he labors? I have seen the God-given task which was the sons of men, which the sons of men are to be occupied. Let's stop right there. I don't know about you, but I love the 4 seasons. If you live in Montana, you have to either enjoy the 4 seasons or move. I love the 4 seasons. I love the changing of the seasons. I always have. I used to have a co-worker, older gentleman that used to work with me, that complained about he complained every day about the weather, every day. If it was cold outside, he would say, I promise you, I'm moving somewhere where it's warm. And if it was hot, he would say, oh, it's just so hot. Just so hot here. He would complain about every season. He would complain about every temperature. And if it was sunny, and I used to get on him. I used to throw him for a loop. It'd be raining, nasty, miserable outside, and I'd come to work and I'd say, man, isn't it gorgeous outside today? Oh, I hate the rain. He said, yeah, it's great if you're a duck. When I was young, I could never wait until I was older. When I was 4 years old, I couldn't wait to go to school. When I was 11 years old, I couldn't wait to start youth group at 12 years old. When I was 12, I couldn't wait to start shaving. I probably started a little early. When I was 14, I couldn't wait to get my driver's license and drive a car. When I was 15, I couldn't wait to turn 16 and get a real job. When I was 17, I couldn't wait to be 18 and graduate from high school. I always was looking for that next big thing. I don't know about you, but I love planning vacations. Anybody not like vacations? You don't like going on vacation? I love planning vacations. What we like to do is plan a vacation in advance, and then for the next few months you're thinking about what you're going to do on vacation, how much you're going to enjoy vacation, what you're going to eat on vacation, what you're going to wear on vacation. You start thinking about vacation. And my kids start saying, Dad, I can't wait. I can't wait till we go on vacation. I just can't wait. I love anticipating the future. Listen to this. But there's a danger in looking forward so much that we miss what is happening right now. The wisest man in the world spoke about seasons and how to live now. Cherish now. I've got a couple of things I want to say to you. First thing I want to say is, number one, every season has its burdens. Every season has its burdens. No matter where you are in life, that season will have its own burdens. I'm not trying to be a killjoy this morning. I'm just being realistic. Our contentment and fulfillment in life, or lack of it. It's snowing.
Every season.
Our contentment and fulfillment in life is always a function of our expectation. We set ourselves up for disappointment when we build unrealistic expectations of God and His purposes. Our disappointments are often, listen to me, a product of viewing God more as a lucky charm, a rabbit's foot, than a Savior and Lord. I don't know how many times I've had people say, Pastor Darrin, I prayed and God did not hear my prayer. He didn't change it for me. And I say, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. God heard your prayer. He promises He always hears our prayer. But just because God doesn't do something that I wanted Him to, and I rub that lucky charm, and I say, oh God, do this for me. Just because He doesn't do it doesn't make Him mean. It doesn't mean He doesn't listen, because He does. Our disappointments are often a product of viewing God as a lucky charm more than as a Savior and Lord. Somebody look up John 16:33. Who will read that for me? Somebody just look it, grab it. As soon as you have it, read it. John chapter 16:33.
I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world.
Life is filled with both blessing and burdens. And they overlay each other, existing simultaneously. Can I listen to me? The same God who said, call unto me, and I will answer thee and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not, is the exact same God who wrote John 16:33, where He says, buckle up, for you're in for some rough days. But don't despair. I've overcome all of that. I will hold you together. Now that's a paraphrase. God didn't say buckle up. But the same God who said, call on me and I'm going to answer you and show you great things, is the same God that said, you're going to have burdens and trials. And these seasons of our lives have both burdens and joys. So I want you to tell me something. What do you hate about summer? Mosquitoes. Although in Montana, you know what? It's a wonderful thing. We don't have a lot of mosquitoes in Montana. That's a wonderful thing. Unless you go to Malta. Don't ever go to Malta. Don't ever go to Malta. The mosquitoes are this big. I promise you.
Seiko is the mosquito capital of the state.
Seiko is?
Yes.
Mosquito capital. What else do you hate about? What do you hate about summer?
It's too short.
Too short. Sunscreen application. Worry about skin cancer. Fire.
The days are long and we work from daylight.
Days are long and you work from daylight to dusk. A lot of work. What do you hate about fall?
Everything.
Oh, come on now, help me out. Somebody Yeah, leaves. You got to rake the leaves or mow the leaves. Yeah.
I don't like fall.
What's that? School starts.
And you know
What do you not like about fall?
winter is coming.
Winter's coming. That's what I hate about it. I'm basking in the fall, and all I can think of is winter's on its way. Oh well, we lose the leaves on the trees. It starts turning gray, right? What do you not like about winter? Cold.
Short days.
Snow. Short days. It's always dark. Ice. Yesterday, I was in Laurel, and there was a huge. Oh, not yesterday. It was Friday. Huge pickup. It was bigger than your big white one. It had huge tires on. It was upside down in the middle of the highway, and they were trying to extricate this guy out of. He was in trouble. I hate the ice, dude. What else? What do you hate about winter?
So long.
It's long. Yeah. What do you not like about spring? What did you say? Mud. Wind. Rain. What? Ticks. ticks. Anything else? See, we can always find things wrong, right? With whatever season we're in. You can always find the cons, so to speak, of the pros and cons. You can always find the cons of whatever season that you're in. We tend to look back and remember how good it was back then and look forward to imagine how good it's going to be, and we miss how truly good God is right now. Don't miss the blessings of right now. If you do, you will always be trying to get back to where you were or trying to get to where you hope to be. God bless her. There's a lady in church I used to go to. I became the assistant pastor of this church, and God bless this lady. Just about every time I saw her, she used to talk to me at length about the last youth pastor they had.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, he's gone. What about me? Or how good things used to be. Huh? Or hey, you know what? One of these days this church is really going to go do something. It's amazing what God's doing right now. Right now. So many times we look back on the way it used to be. It's gone. Or we look ahead and think, boy, it's just going to get so much better in the future. And we skip what God is doing in our lives right now. And the wisest man in the world said there's seasons, there's problems in every season, there's blessings in every season, but don't miss now. Cherish now what's going on in my life. Number 2, every season has its beauty. Solomon's first 10 verses in chapter 13 also list the positives of each season of life. The positives being, they're born, plant, pluck up, heal, build up, laugh, dance, gather, embrace, get, keep, sow, speak, love, peace. Each of these words reveals the tapestry of each season of life. The multiple layers of blessings and beauty in every season. What do you love about summer? Huh?
Golf. Long nights.
Golf. Long days. Everything. Barbecues. Fresh garden produce. What? Fireworks. She's the most pyromaniac person we have in our church. Stay away from her. She loves fire. One of these days, brother, we're going to hear. We're going to see it in the paper. She's burned up by fire. She loves fire. I don't know why. We got 2 people in our church like that. Where's Rick? Rick's like that too. They love fire. Anytime she wants to have youth activity, let's do some fireworks. Pizza and fireworks. Roller skating and fireworks. Seriously.